Hello everyone, welcome to Crystal Eclipse. My name is Jessica. In this video, we'll be asking the cards about your future spouse and what makes them fall for you. This was a request, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to not only leave a comment, but to also leave a request. I have four piles, for you all to choose from today. There's pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can also go by the stones that are at the bottom, which is zebra quartz. This one is like, I don't know if you can see, but like electroplated, so it's sort of rainbowy. We have aura quartz, which has sort of the same thing going on. Then rose quartz here. I hope it picks up pink because it is pink in person. And then lastly, amazonite. You can check the description box or the comment section for timestamps if you'd like to skip directly to the stack or stacks that called out to you. So let's go ahead and get started. Hello to everyone who chose pile 1. We have that rainbow-ish zebra quartz over here. It's also called zebra jasper, I think, sometimes, but I've already laid out all the cards so that I don't waste your time laying them all out individually. So starting over here, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Six of Wands. We have the Tower with release and revelation, the Six of Cups with sentiment and joy, the Knight of Swords with action and focus. Up here we have the Five of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Six of Wands again. So there are two Six of Wands coming out. We have the Two of Wands, lots of wand energy here. The Champion of Cups in this deck would be the Knight of Cups, and then we have the Apprentice of Pentacles, which would be the Page of Pentacles. So we have a fresh beginning with this future spouse reading. It seems like they're either in the process of coming toward you, or possibly you've met them, but the relationship is just barely growing, establishing itself. So when it comes to this future spouse, what makes them fall for you, I love the energy that's coming out. So I'm gonna be like up front with that one immediately. I love the repeat of the Six of Wands because it feels like with you, they can be themselves. They can celebrate, they can, embrace you, they can just be who they've always wanted to be. But I feel like either their music or sense of style, the things that they love, their interests, whatever it might be, I feel like there is a lot of people that just like are like, oh, I don't really like that, or they sort of like had to sort of keep their interests, their hobbies to themselves because they couldn't find anybody who had those in common. We could see that with the Four of Pentacles, where it's sort of standoffish. That could also be your energy, where you couldn't find people who really meshed with you well. But I feel like when you come along, since we have that Four of Wands, which is a union, it's a wedding, it's a celebration of two people who are like-minded coming together, and we see that almost like equal relief and release within that Six of Wands and the Six of Wands over there. So it's like a double energy of just brightness, positivity, just being with somebody that they know they're meant to be with. And on top of all of that, you have the double six with the Six of Wands, and you have the Six of Cups, which is my favorite card out of all the tarot cards, because it says that this is your soulmate, this is your life partner, this is the person that is guided toward you, the person that is meant to be in your life. Most importantly, this is high level. This is not like somebody that you meet on the street and you're with for 3 months and you move on and it didn't really impact your life. This is a person that is sent by like those who watch over you, higher powers. They are meant to come into your life and complete like what you're missing and to move forward with you, especially in a future spouse reading. When this card comes out, we see life partner tied into that future spouse. So it's not just marriage, it's somebody who is meant to be there for the rest of your life. It's somebody who is like a strong energy that helps your soul just complete its purpose, really, but also to support it. The Tower coming in over here underneath the Four of Pentacles, you'd think the Tower is a bad thing, like things are coming crashing down, but with this card it says release and revelation, so it ties back into, like I said, it's relief and release, but it's an understanding of that. So I really feel like when you first meet, there's this like spark between the two of you where you feel like you've known this person for lifetimes, like you've met this person before and you can't pinpoint where it is, but it's because of that soul connection. Like you're finally united with the person that you're meant to be with. It's like, it's not something physical, it's something that's much more spiritual when you're together, when you're around each other. And I think that that's the energy this person sees within you. I do feel though with this person, they've worked a lot on like getting things together, like getting their life in order, making sure that they could stand on their own 2 feet, that they have everything they need. And I think they're a very like organized person. I don't feel like they have a lot of people around them. They might have like a small family. I don't feel like they have a lot of friends, or they just don't know how to like go out and meet people. So meeting you where you have that same energy, those same, core hobbies, interests, same music, same art, whatever it might be, having you sort of like brings them out. And we have 2 butterflies coming through with the 2 of Pentacles, a choice for what is better, and then that release again within that 6 of Wands. So you're definitely somebody who can sort of either get them out of the cocoon or help them through that transition of, caterpillar to butterfly, if it's just like becoming the better version of themselves. And I think providing them with joy, providing them with everything they had hoped for but couldn't find with anybody else, is something that just completely sets you apart. And it's not just like a selfish thing, or just like a I don't know, like an everyday thing. It's something so much more like deep to them that you have given them, almost like a new start at life. And that might be why we see the Page of Pentacles coming through at the end, because normally we don't see a downgrade from a knight to a page, but when that happens, it means somebody who's prepared for the future has decided to restart, and there's newness within that page card. And especially with the Pentacles, you do see a beginning. So that's like the start of something that's forever, the longevity within the Pentacles, the like it's never going away. This is something that you will definitely move forward with. And you have another card of choice here with the 2 of Wands, a choice to move forward. But I also feel like there's this part of them that's just so like ecstatic you chose them, and I'm not sure if that's the case. Like it might be that like there wasn't a choice and you were just trying to find the right person, or that soulmate, that life partner, and they came through. But it feels like they almost feel this like they're lucky that they got to meet you, that you came into their life, almost like you chose them as your soulmate, their soulmate, like you were the one that decided upon them. And there's like a gratitude that I feel from this person. It's such a like a brightness, and I think you just bring so much fun, so much brightness, so much happiness into their life. It could be too like some of you might have a like you might not think of this about yourself, but you might have a really great sense of humor. You might just be somebody who's really funny, or somebody who knows how to lighten a mood, and you always bring that energy to the table. So it takes them out of like a sadness and moves them forward. And we see that with that 5 of Cups. Like maybe some people were like, Debbie Downers, and they were used to that environment, but now you come along and you have this brightness. Even within the Tower, the rainbow's coming out in this card, so we see the aftermath of the Tower of the storm that's knocked it down. So you're sort of this newness, and there's a brightness. There's like, they love your smile, your happiness, your eyes. They love the way that you bring this beautiful, vibrant energy into any situation, and that they can, spend time with you, sit with you, talk with you. And there's something about you that just creates a new spirit for them, a new energy. And I love that 6 of Wands came out twice, because it's both of you that have made a lot of strides, like individually. You both come a long way. You've both really done a lot of focusing on yourself, a lot of like, soul work, shadow work, whatever it might be. And I feel like by meeting each other, you realize you've done the bulk of it. You've done what you really, really needed to do. There'll always be more work in the future, but you've done what you needed at this point in order to unite with this other person. It's such a good energy coming through here. But that's what I have with this first stack and that zebra quartz. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope some of that, all of that connected with you. And I hope that you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Hello to everyone who chose pile 2. We have our little aura quartz over here. I hope you can see that. Oh, it's picking up now. So when it comes to your future spouse and what makes them fall for you, I've already laid out all of these cards, so I'll go over them quickly. We have the Ace of Wands. I will note on this, all of my cards are normally upright, but for some reason this one was in reverse, but that's a good thing. We have the 9 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the 6 of Swords with transition and insight, the Moon with imagination and perception, and the Queen of Wands with passion and creativity. Up here we have Strength, the 7 of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles again, and then we have the Page of Wands. So we're starting off with the Eight of Wands, and sometimes that's a card of like just everything sort of going all over the place at once. You know, sort of like haywire. Some good things, some bad things, some things that are like frustrating, some things you want to say yes to, and some things you want to say no to. But we see it in reverse. So we're seeing an organization, and that's really good because I feel like if we're at a place where everything is sort of coming together, we see a really good person. We see somebody who has a nice balance going on, and especially since it's followed by the Nine of Wands, we see somebody who's moving forward. If anything, somebody who is leveling up with that energy of the like wounded warrior, but the one that chooses to stand back up, you know, get back on that horse rather than allowing things to be knocked down. So I think going through this, there's something about you when it comes to the stack. There might also be some tie-ins to the first stack. So if you were called to that one, you might want to watch maybe like the end portion of it, like halfway through. There might be something that speaks to you within that one. But when it comes to what makes them fall for you, I feel like this person, like for some of you, it might have been like the previous relationship or the previous people that they were around. I think they leveled up, but the people didn't, if that makes sense. Like your future spouse did a lot of soul searching, a lot of just, you know, trying to get on the right path, trying to weed out the ones that just weren't, you know, helpful to them, the ones that might have been actually holding them back and preventing their growth. So they were trying to get rid of just the negatives. But through that process, I feel like they're just like a lot of people weren't left around them, and I feel like whatever that previous relationship was, it just seemed like something that they were struggling to move forward from. Something that, I mean, they got over it, but it was something like they had a little bit of a difficult time putting themselves back out there. But with you, your arrival, your energy, who you are, we see that energy, like the fire is reignited, and that's why we have so much wand energy going on within those three cards. Even over here we have the Page of Wands, the Queen of Wands. So a lot of fire. Strength is also a fire card. So a lot of passion, a lot of intensity, a lot of just like putting yourself completely in it and moving forward. So they're like jumping in because the energy you give them, the spark you give them, the almost like you came along and you said, okay, go, and you know, now they're running toward you. I also, with that Knight of Wands, every time I see it, I swear it's the Four of Wands. I always think it's the Four of Wands, and then I remember it's the Knight of Wands. But that is the card of, normally with the Four of Wands, it's a card of a wedding or a union. And when I see that, like that's my first thought. But here we sort of see like one person, like the way I interpret that card is that one person. So it's this future spouse of yours that's just like so psyched, so like pumped up to be with somebody who actually matches them, somebody who gives them that same like energy rush that, you know, they've been sort of searching for but never able to find. And somebody who I think like can match their energy, because I feel like this person likes to do things. I feel like this person's just a very like energetic person. They might not, you know, go like, it doesn't mean they go to like parties and stuff. It could be like if you like to go to parties or large gatherings, music festivals, those sorts of things. This could also be somebody who likes to hike or run, somebody who's very physically fit, somebody who, you know, sort of wants to take you with them on this journey. It's somebody who I felt like likes outdoors, likes animals, like nature. It seems like with that Knight of Wands as well as the Strength card coming out, there's just more nature vibes that I'm seeing here. So you're somebody that I think, like if they say, hey, let's go do this, you're one who would want to, and you wouldn't resist, you wouldn't say no, you wouldn't like make their plans sound wrong or like not fun. And I feel like whatever it was in the past just made them feel like they couldn't really connect with somebody that way, because it's such a big energy that I'm getting from this person. I also feel like this person has a like a immense like loving or nurturing, somebody who's like caregiver for somebody who wants to take care of others. So like regardless of gender, it's not a gender thing, it's just somebody who like they want you to feel loved, they want you to feel taken care of. And I think in the past people weren't really like responding well to that. It seems like if anything, some people might have been like, you know, I'm well, it might have been like one person in particular that was like, you know, I don't want that, I'm like my own independent person, or like I can do that myself, or you know, why are you this way. But with you, you just like, you give them your all. Seven of Pentacles coming out twice is why I'm feeling this alongside that Strength card, because this is giving me like nothing but love to give to you, as well as with the Seven of Pentacles, because that's like taking care of something. It's, you know, nurturing those plants, and you respond so well to this. It's all about your energy that allows them to really just almost like they don't have to push down their desire to go have fun, or to go and do something that they normally enjoy, or to, you know, like blast the music or something. You are, you know, right there beside them. So it's a compatibility that's coming through. I also feel like just the way that you approach them, I'm not sure if it's like the way you walk up to them, or the way that you hold yourself, or just like there's something that like draws them to you, you know, like the way you smile, or the way that your hair like moves or in the sun, you know. It's something like that where they look at you and they're like, you know, they can't take their eyes away from you. There's something that really draws them into you, like physically there's something. And I do feel like, since there's a brightness behind each figure here within these three cards, as well as strength, and sort of that same energy within the Nine of Wands, feels to me like there's a brightness about you. This could just be like overall, like, you know, an aura about you, or something that like you bring so much, like, I don't know, it feels like you radiate energy outward. And I think a lot of people feel this, but I don't think this person has had somebody that compares to you. And since we have so many wands going on, that's why I'm like, it really feels like you match their energy, because wands are all about energy, all about how you respond to the other person, how you move forward, how you decide what's your goals, what your dreams are, you know, your motivation toward those things. It's exactly like how you just embrace life, and that's where you match well. But like, whatever this is, whatever physical this is something that really draws them in. But this is what I'm seeing with the second stack and that Aura Quartz. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I do hope that some of that, all of that was able to resonate with you. You connected with it. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Hello everyone who chose pile 3. We have that rose quartz. I swear in person this is pink, but for some reason the camera does not pick it up pink. But welcome to this reading on your future spouse and what makes them fall for you. I've already laid out all of the cards, so I'll go over them quickly so you know what's out here on the table. Starting up here, we have the Knight of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Hanged Man with patience and perspective, the Knight of Wands with action and drive, the Sun with vitality and joy. Up here we have the Eight of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, the Moon, the Three of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the King of Cups. So when I was laying these out, I'm gonna be honest with you, when I was laying these out, I was like, ooh, like these are some good cards. Okay? And you think like, wait a minute, Knight of Swords to the Six of Swords, not so good. Eight of Cups, not so good, but completely different. You know, even the Three of Swords, completely different because of the card that they end up at. We end up with like, meh, so sort of sad to fantastic, not good, sort of okay, revealing something. Then here we have like a switcheroo, so movement forward to the Sun of all cards, the brightest card. This Three of Swords, heartbreak, you know, disaster, everything falling apart. Ten of Wands, not good. But then we have the King of Cups. So it's all ending up in some fantastic energy. And I love this because if you're waiting on this person to arrive, first of all, this person is on their way. If anything, I feel like for some of you, it feels like almost like within the month of watching this, it feels like somebody is coming through fast, because you have the fastest card, what I consider the fastest card, the Knight of Swords, moving very quickly. But it's not in a negative way, because normally we'd see the Knight of Swords in like a rushing things, needing to slow down. But since we have it moving into the Six of Swords, we see somebody who is more like planned out. And I think overall, because we see these two cards coming through, they're moving toward you at like top level speed, because they see within you like what they've always wanted, what they've always hoped for, everything that they, you know, could only like imagine. And it seems like here we go from sort of like a figment of imagination, maybe something that they've been manifesting to actual, like, physically there in front of them, and that is the Queen of Pentacles. And your energy is reading up here as the Queen of Pentacles. Once again, regardless of gender, the Queen of Pentacles is just somebody who offers stability, somebody who offers comfort, somebody who they look to and say, like, that's where I want to be, that's who I want to be with, that's what I want in my future. It's a different kind of, I guess, desire. It's not something that's like with the wands where it's like I want passion and spice. It's like I want somebody who I can go home to. I want somebody who, you know, will remember special days, somebody who will be appreciative of what I offer, and that's you. You're the one that responds in that way. You care about their birthday, you care about events, you care about what's going on with them at work. You respond to them, you want to know what's going on in their life, and it's just something that they truly appreciate. And I think for them, with this whole, like, you know, future spouse, sometimes when it ties into that life partner, the life partner part, you know, can be either disregarded, forgotten, or not really, like, really paid attention to. But here, that's something that's very important for them. They want a life partner. They want somebody who is permanent. They don't want, you know, to get married 40 times and never have anything successful. They want something that they know they can have for the rest of their life. And that's where you come in, because you have the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is, I've said it 1,000 times, probably people are tired of me saying it, but Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, they're ride or die. They are the ones that stay with you through thick and thin. And you, in your sort of like elevated status here, I think really build them up, really help them, like, ascend and get out of whatever it was that might have been holding them back and moving them forward. But I do feel like it's this really great match. We have the King of Cups, which does match well with the Queen of Pentacles, whether or not, like, you know, same suit, there is a connection there that is fine. You know, something that actually is pretty good, because that means one side's a little more romantic than the other, but the other one knows how to respond well. It could be that this person is very, very romantic, and maybe people in the past didn't really appreciate that romance, or this person, you know, is really in tune with their emotions, and the people they were with or around just really didn't care for somebody who was, you know, sympathetic, or you know, really caring about what was going on in their life, how they were feeling. So it's something that might be a little, like, different, or like a little foreign to them. So it's just having somebody where they can just really, like, you know, either be the support that you need, you know, and be responsive to it, because I think that person really, really does care. This is a very caring person. And, you know, sometimes it's just something that people aren't, you know, accepting of. Sometimes people just really don't want somebody who has that, you know, like tell me how you feel, you know, open up to me. Sometimes people aren't fond of that. But I feel like with you, since we have this different I guess appearance compatibility here, I think there's this really, really great like camaraderie that's going on here. So a deeper connection. And I think somebody, like, I know one time somebody got upset with me when I said this, but this is somebody you can be friends with. And I think that's very important in a relationship, because you definitely, like, when you're 80 and you can't really walk well and move well, you want somebody you can be friends with, you know, to sit next to you. Because if you're not friends, you know, what do you have? You have to be friends. You have to have that connection. And that's what I'm seeing here. You're actual, genuine, true friends, and you bring such a beautiful brightness into their life, especially with the sun. You know, the sun usually comes out of the worst place, and since we have this Three of Swords here, the Three of Swords to me says they've come out of the worst place, they've turned things around, and now they're moving forward into that sun stage. And you're almost like the light at the end of the tunnel. You're the one that's fully released them from whatever that negativity was in the past. And that's why we have that moon energy coming through, the moon of, like, the reveal, you know. So it's showing that you are, you know, that next stage, the moving into, back into brightness, back into a positive light. So it's just really somebody you know, just really responsive. And I think if this is somebody who, you know, if you're looking for, I try to stay out of genders just because they're, you know, men and women watch these videos. But if you are looking for somebody who is male, right, we do see somebody who is more toward that shared responsibility, because the seahorse, you know, takes on a lot of roles that would be just toward a woman. But the male seahorse actually does a lot more. He carries the children, and it's something that is a sign in many of these tarot decks of somebody who is responsive, somebody who's very you know, giving. So I feel like this person, like, knowing that you sort of let them be that way is something that they're very appreciative of. And I didn't think about it, but Rose Quartz really says that this person has a beautiful love to give, like a really true pure love that is unlike anything you can imagine. But that's what I'm seeing here with this third stack and that rose quartz. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I do hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye. Hello to everyone who chose the fourth pile. We have that little Amazonite stone right here. I've already laid out all the cards so that I don't waste your time laying them out one by one. So I'll go over them quickly so that you know what's out here on the table. Starting up here, we have the Three of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Swords with perspective and self-empowerment, the Seven of Cups with choice and ambitions, the Seven of Wands, sorry, with determination and stamina. Up here we have the Six of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Star, and the Queen of Cups. So this is a very water heavy stack here, right? So this pile just has so many water cards, because we have what, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 cards in total are water cards, and that has a strong energy of like their emotions, their love, like the love that they give. And I feel like that's something that's standing out to me really like strong, and it might be tied to the previous stack if any of you were called to that one. But it has this like I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking they can wine and dine you, and it's something weird that I'm thinking that way, because I'm like, well, what does that mean? But it feels like somebody who can just be like so just giving, you know, somebody who's very I don't know, like responsive to things, somebody who really like likes to surprise people. And I don't feel like it's something that, like, within the previous stacks, it kept giving me like people weren't appreciative, people didn't respond well. But with this one, I feel like they tried to be that person with people, but it never really got to the point where they really felt like the person was receiving it, like the person was understanding, you know, their love language, the way that they were just, you know, communicating. And when it comes to them falling for you, right, this future spouse falling for you, we see that you enjoy all that they offer. You like the like cute or romantic or simple little gifts that they give you, the reminders, the like maybe like the emojis that you send them randomly throughout the day. It's things like that where they just love that somebody responds to love, I think, in the same way that that they give love, if that makes sense. Like you're able to just do what they do for you. It's really all about that just complete like giving, you know, nature that they have. And I think of all cards to come out, the Knight of Cups to come out here really says a lot about who they are, because it's that stereotypical, of course, you know, prince on a white horse with a bouquet of roses and a picnic on the beach. But if it screams to me that that's it, it's like almost gimmicky. It's so caring, it's so lovely, it's so sweet, it's something that you just, you know, you embrace this person, you don't want to let them go, because that's just, you know, who they are. But they just love the way that you respond to them, they love the way that they can do those things, the way that they act that way. And it's something that you know they can't compare with. But we do have that Six of Cups and the Two of Cups, and these cards always tie into each other, because this is like lesser arcana, the Lovers, but this one is my soulmate card with the Six of Cups. It's that true partnership, the one that's meant to be. And I think a couple of the other stacks had the Six of Cups come out, so I'm sort of surprised it came out so sort of like abruptly, you know, something that like was really making sure it was known, that it was heard here. But for it to come out next to the Ace of Cups, alongside, you know, basically that Two of Cups, it's so like they see you as that counterpart. Like they've waited, and there's almost a part of them that's like, no, you know, this isn't real, I'm dreaming. And it's like with the star, sometimes that's like manifestation, you know, working on bringing something that's a dream or a desire into real life. So there's this part of them that's like, you know, I did not, like, there's no possible way I actually manifested the right person, or that, you know, you're as perfect as you seem. And it's just everything about you that they're just like, this is it, you know, this has come through. And to have sort of the one that sort of controls things over here with the Queen of Cups, to allow this to happen, to flow forward, to just sort of release and create this positivity. I really do feel like this person just, honestly, like they just think wonders of you. Like there isn't one specific thing about you that makes them fall for you. It's like everything about you. There's a brightness, there's a fun. I think with this one, if you were drawn to this stack, you seem to have more of a calmer, or more of a go with the flow energy. It's not as high energy as some of the previous stacks. You're more so somebody who, you know, you don't really get loud. You don't get like really overly excited. You don't really like, you know, go to town on things. You have this sort of like peak level, but it doesn't really get into like the overboard stage. It stays pretty grounded, and it's a nice energy. They like when people are like that, because I think their personality responds well to this. I think it's somebody who just is very like appreciative of hard work, like what you put energy into. So I see this person as thinking like, wow, you really, you work hard, you do so much, you try so hard to move forward. And normally with that Nine of Swords, we'd see more of like a sad card or one of nightmares, but since we have it in this deck, we see the opposite, where things are moving forward because you're acknowledging things. And so it's something that they're like, they love that you're in this stage of just being very self-aware, and you know, embracing of like becoming the better version of you, because that seems to be something where they had some people in the past that are like, you know, they'd rather stay in that negative stage. And I feel like this person just wants that peace and like sort of like Zen energy of more open-mindedness, more of acceptance, more of just like, you know, a reality check, a true reality check that brings you you know, that awareness. So it's just really a great, you know, just, I know the way they look at you is what I'm getting at. Like, it's just everything about you. And with the Ace of Cups, this, alongside that Page of Swords, we see somebody who speaks well and communicates well, and with that there's a loving energy. So whenever you critique them, whatever you try to say, like, you know, how about this, or, you know, maybe we should focus on that, you do it in a way that is so loving that they really feel like they can improve, and they want to, you know, they're much more responsive to it, because you don't belittle them, you don't make them feel like they can't improve, but at the same time you sort of allow them to chase after their dreams, to do things that they didn't feel like they could ever do, and you just create like a nice harmony for them. But that's what I'm seeing here with this final stack, this fourth stack. I will say, because like a little outside of the what makes them fall for you part, because we have the Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the Two of Cups coming out here, just like if you stayed this long, I'm going to say this person is 100% your soulmate. This person is the one that is meant for you. This person is your life partner. This person will love you like you've never been loved before. This person will treat you like you are the world. They will give you everything, anything that they can. They are so madly in love with you. There's nothing that can ever compare to it. And it's somebody that comes through at the exact right timing for you, because you've both wished for it. You've both asked for it, and you're both ready for it. But that's what I'm seeing here with this fourth deck. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And I do hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye.